Hello everyone, welcome to Lawfren again, the session with toppers. So today we have with us Roshan A, who has secured All India rank 25 in NLSAT and All India rank 19 in NAIT NLUO 2025. And it happens to be that he's also a mutual friend of mine. So very welcome to Roshan A today on this session. Hey Roshan, introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks bro. Thanks a lot. Myself, I'm Roshan, and I did my BA in Sociology from Chennai Loyola College, and then I took a year for UPSC preparation, and then I ended up here clearing NLSAT.
That's great, Roshan. That's great. And from the limited conversation I've had with you, you told me that this was your second attempt in NLSAT. And you already had an attempt before. You gave it in 2024 and you scored 70 marks. Tell me more about it. Like, how did you get to know about NLSAT to begin with? And what made you choose law after BA in sociology?
Yeah, I was initially interested in pursuing law after my schooling, but I thought of doing a BA degree, which is a basic qualification for UPSC, and then after 3 years or so, I can prepare for NLSAT or something entrance like this for law. And to be honest, I don't know about this college when I was in second year or third year. At the end of my last year of my college only, I got to know about this NLSAU, and I just applied for that at the time. We didn't prepare, me and my friend, we prepared both, but we didn't prepare much. At the time we were busy with our college exams like that. We just gave the exam. I got around 69.70 marks in my first attempt in last year in 2024, and this year I gave and I got 8.5.
So this year when you took a break for NLSAT or for UPSC for that matter, like how many months did you actually study for NLSAT in this break? When did you start your preparation again, or were you in the in the process of it while studying for UPSC? Did you study for NLSAT along with it? Like how did you approach it this year?
So I didn't start prepare for it in the whole year. I prepared completely for UPSC in this year, which I took the break. And in the NLSAT exam happened on April 27th, and I started on the April first week. I started with the free mock, which in Lawfren free mock was started. I started with the free mock, and I gave around 4 to 5 free mocks using the free Telegram channels, and just that is the starting of my preparation. Just 1 month, you can say 1 month I gave for the preparation.
That's great, Roshan. And when you say you studied for 1 month, but NLSAT requires considerable time to prepare. So, for example, you need to cover current affairs for it, and because you were studying for UPSC, you must have been covering current affairs the entire year. So, what resources did you choose for current affairs?
Current affairs, I didn't choose anything specifically. I used to read newspapers daily as I was preparing simultaneously for UPSC exams. And as I was aware about all the important things, but specifically we need to be fine-tune something for this law-related exams. Since UPSC is like broad, and specifically it is also more factual-oriented current affairs are going to be asked in this NLSAT exam. So in the last 1 month of my preparation for NLSAT, I specifically went through some free YouTube videos of legal current affairs of January month, February month, like that. I went through some videos of that in YouTube, and I just went through that 2 or 3 times. Just I listened to those videos, and that helped me a lot in current affairs preparation.
So that's great, Roshan. So basically, you did 2 things. One is you studied newspaper regularly for 1 entire year, and along with it, in the last few days of the exam, you went through the legal current affairs on YouTube channel and different channels that's freely available. And when you studied current affairs from newspapers, did you make any notes out of it?
No, bro. There is actually many free Telegram channels where they specifically point out which are the important current affairs in respect of UPSC. So that is almost more or less in congruence with the NLSAT exam. So I just went through that, not specifically keeping in mind the NLSAT preparation. Just I was curious to know what happened today. I had the habit of reading it from the college times, so it was easier to just go through it. I didn't make any specific notes for current affairs.
Perfect. And how did you go about part A? No, now we'll split into part A and part B of NLSAT. We'll go into each section in detail, okay? Now the current affairs is that's general for both. But we need to know how you approach the part A reading comprehension questions. Like how did you practice from it and how did you tackle different types of questions in it?
Yeah. For part A, to be honest, I went through the previous year questions of NLSAT exams and also the sample questions released in the website. And since I was preparing for UPSC, there in CSAT we have the general comprehension questions also. Since I want to manage my CSAT preparation in the last 3-4 months before the CSAT exams, and as well as NLSAT, there was a gap of just 1 month before, between this NLSAT exam and the UPSC prelims exam. So I went through all the from 2011 to 2024. I went through all the comprehension questions from the CSAT of UPSC PYQs, and I went through that just like that. I read the paragraphs. It is not similar. Both are completely different. Since in NLSAT exams we have the very lengthy paragraphs, but in UPSC it's relatively small. But the questions will be somewhat trickier in CSAT exams. So, but I want to manage both. So what I did was I completely went through all the PYQs of CSAT PYQs from 2013 to 2024 of CSAT PYQs of comprehension alone. And that gave me a little bit of confidence. And along with that, PYQs released by the NLSAT and in the website, the sample questions, I read those questions and I was able to answer. So I got developed my confidence a little bit from them.
No, like that's great. That's great, Roshan. Because as I was telling you even earlier before the interview, few of our students who are studying for UPSC and also cracked NLSAT, they went through CSAT papers regularly. In fact, they didn't go through CLAT and GMAT, which is very popular in NLSAT circles. They went solely through CSAT papers and they practiced from it. And as you were telling, the CSAT passages are slightly lesser in length, but they're trickier than NLSAT. That's the truth, right? Okay. So they're slightly trickier than NLSAT, but the length of the passages are a bit short.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect. Then okay, so from 2000 you went through the CSAT passages from 2013 to 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And what was your part A marks in NLSAT?
Part A I got 50 marks, and in Part B I got the 36 points.
That's great, Roshan. And in Part A, like for the one-liner current affairs, as you mentioned, you told that okay, you went through the legal current affairs from videos, and you went through the magazines and the newspapers for the current affairs. Was it of any help? Like, how much did you score in current affairs? Like, what did you score really well in the current affairs in Part A section?
I was able to score really good comparatively to the passages. I made a little bit of overthinking in the current affairs thing. For example, a question came about the first female chief justice of India, and I read somewhere in the legal current affairs video or somewhere else that Leila Seth is the first female chief justice of High Court. I thought it is too obvious this won't be the answer, so I chose Leila Seth, but the answer is Fatima Bibi. These kind of things, I made some mistakes in the current affairs thing, but more or less I was satisfied with the marks I scored in the current affairs thing.
That's great, Roshan. And how did you allot the time for Part A and Part B in an LSAT? So usually people split around 1 hour 10 minutes to Part A and 1 hour 20 minutes to Part B, but how did you approach it?
To be honest, I tried this while writing 4 to 5 books and all. 1 hour 15 minutes and 1 hour 15 minutes is the ideal time, but I couldn't follow the time. I was taking a bit much time in the Part A. I used to take around 1 hour 30 minutes for the Part A itself.
Okay.
I used to write my Part B in one hour because I felt that getting good marks in Part A is much more. It will help me clear the exam rather than Part B, which is much more subjective. It is also in the examiner's hand part of it. So I spend much of my time and effort in Part A while writing exam also. I try to write and limit myself within 1 hour 15 minutes, but most of the time it would extend 5 to 10 minutes more than that. I will end up in the actual exam. I wrote it around in Part A 1 hour 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I took that much time for Part A.
But because you are a UPSC aspirant, you were able to write Part B fast. Because for other people, completing Part B in 1 hour is a very difficult task. In fact, writing 5 legal answers and also an essay in 1 hour, it's a very difficult feat to achieve. So that's great if you have done it. Have you attempted all questions in Part B or did you leave out any question?
I attempted everything.
Okay, so what was the word limit that you followed for Part B answers?
Part B, to be honest, I didn't check the word limit and all, but I used the space as per my handwriting and my the spacing between the words. I completed those. I filled up the space, but I don't actually count how much words. But to be honest, while writing the mocks also, I used whatever the thing I feel it is relevant to the question and relevant to be filled in that space. I used the points and made the answer, not like these much of words. And I never counted number of words I used.
Perfect, perfect. And for part B, where did you practice your part B preparation from? The questions, and where did you practice the part B legal questions from?
I started with the same previous questions of 2022, 23, 24. These 3 years, I wrote myself the answers and I evaluated myself. For part B, apart from that, the sample questions also released by the NLS website. I used that one. And these are the things, and I wrote 5 to 6 mocks.
Okay.
That helped me in fine tuning my preparation for part B.
That's great. That's great. And did you follow any pattern or any structure for part B answers? Many people follow IRAC method for part B. Like did you follow any such method to answer the part B answers questions?
I didn't know about the IRAC method first of all when I entered this profession. I came to know about it after here, but I felt that it is taking much of my time in framing or structuring itself, and I didn't apply that IRAC method. Whatever I do is, first I read the passage, and first I used to take a stand. Yes, I agree to this. I will take this stand of this or something like that. I will agree to what I'll stand on my position. That first of all, whether I'm agreeing or not, and then I used to put on the points what are the in favor of the my position. I used to write the points.
That's great. That's great.
And at the end, I will conclude by saying this, by justifying that these are the reasons why I chose this side. Like that, I will say. That's it.
So when you answered the part B questions, did you go by the point format or did you go by the passage format? Did you answer in the passage format or did you mention points, arguments?
No, I did it in the passage format.
Okay, perfect.
But I will keep in mind that these are the points I need to cover in the answer. So, but I did it in the passage form.
Perfect. And for the essay, how did you approach the essay of part B? Because I know that you are a UPSC aspirant, and it will be you'll be updated with the current world, and you'll be getting all the facts from be it PIB or Niti Aayog and anything in fact. So you'll always be having facts with you. But still, how did you put it on paper? Like how did you do it?
Passage thing. To be honest, I got around 10 or 15 minutes only for the essay thing to write at the last minute. And the one thing which I'm happy about is I got this about the 3 language formula thing, which is in news in recent times, and also Tamil Nadu is on the hotspot of this thing.
Exactly.
So I was able to recollect the points as quicker as possible, and I was able to jot down the points. So it was of great help in that manner.
Okay, so did you incorporate any diagrams in essay like you do in UPSC, or did you just skip it? Okay, because I guess there's no diagrams even followed in essay, right? It's only followed in GS or UPSC.
Yeah, GS questions only, not in essay.
That's great. That's great. And did you follow any introduction, body, and conclusion method, and also have these quotes from different philosophers and all this added to your essay, or did you do anything?
Nothing like that, bro.
Okay.
At the crunch of time, I don't have much time to devote for thinking about the other things like quotes.
And you wrote it in 10 minutes. That's actually great.
10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15
because I got only 40 or 45 minutes for the whole part B itself, so I can't able to devote much.
Like, did you practice essays before exam? Because I know that you practice part A from CSAT and part B from writing mock answers and stuff. But did you practice essay questions from any specific place?
No, as I said, only the free mocks and the sample questions and the BYQs of NLSAT. That's the only thing I follow.
Okay. But for you, it's considerably easy because you have been studying for UPSC. But for any person who isn't studying for UPSC, what would you suggest him? Like, where should he go for current affairs that he can incorporate in essays? Because current affairs for part A is different. That's one-liner factual current affairs. But current affairs that a person uses for essay is different. So, which resources would you suggest for a person who wants to get facts for essays?
I would suggest that. Rather than going for magazines, the monthly bulky magazines, it is difficult to recollect the thing also and also to revise at the last moment. For that, it is better to be in touch with the current affairs thing, because whatever we read in the newspaper, it will strike at the moment of the exam. rather than reading that specifically this will come in exam, it won't be we won't be able to recollect, or we'll be getting confused at the exam hall. But the thing is, when we are reading in the newspapers and something like this video that's specifically designed for this legal current affairs thing, this will help you revise quickly, as well as you will be able to recollect. That would be my suggestion also.
So in your preparation, in when you were writing mocks, right? Did you attempt it on
Yes.
OMR sheet, or like how did you approach it? Did you just mark the question answers and stuff while you were doing it, or did you mark it on OMR sheet while you were
For
attempting
one or
it?
two for the initial exams, I just didn't use the OMR sheets. But last 3 or 4 mocks, I used the OMR sheets. I
Oh,
took the
so you
printout
did
of
practice on OMR. Oh, that's
yeah.
great. So in the final exam, did you have any time crunch while marking the OMR? Because they don't give separate time for filling your details and stuff. You'll have to do everything in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the thing is, for OMR, I used to do it for the UPSC prelims also. I was writing mocks for prelims also.
Okay.
So I used to do it in the OMR. So it became a practice for me. So that
Okay.
is not didn't be a problem for
Perfect.
me.
Perfect. Perfect, Roshan. And as you know, you are a person who has attempted NLSAT for the second time. Would you suggest any person to take a drop for this exam solely, like just to prepare only for NLSAT, or would you say against it? Like, what's your opinion about it?
In my opinion, I would say that it is not necessary to take a complete year just for the exam preparation alone. We can do it simultaneously along with the work or some in college, or preparing for any other competitive exams also. I wouldn't suggest taking a complete year for just the preparing for this, since this is not some factual exam where we have to study a lot of syllabus, something like that. Just we have to apply our knowledge the right time, and with right practice, it is easily.
So, how many months and how many hours a day do you recommend for a person who's preparing for an LSAT? How many months should he prepare, and how many hours a day should he prepare for this exam?
That is depending on their level of practice and also the confidence they are. Since I didn't devote much of a time for NLSAT in my last month also. Since I was preparing for a UPSC also, I couldn't devote much time for NLSAT. I used to write the mocks in the mornings. I used to revise what are the mistakes I did, and when the feedback comes from the seniors or some, when I evaluate on myself, I used to go through what are the mistakes which I did, and on what areas we have to improve. I have to improve myself. That are the things I did after that, and I didn't devote more than 3 to 4 hours maximum. Considering the time for the mocks, 2.5 hours, and it would be around 4 hours, you can say,
That's
for
great.
revising and everything.
That's great, Roshan. And also, you scored all India rank 19 NIIT NLU. So we'll talk a bit about it as well. Like, how did you approach the exam? Because that exam is slightly different. There's general reasoning in it. That's
Yeah.
not in NLSAT. So how did you cover
Yes.
this NLU
But
NIIT?
before going to that, I did follow one thing for this party thing in
Okay.
NLSAT.
Okay.
The thing is, I read the lengthy paragraph. I'm not used to reading that lengthy paragraphs, and it was difficult for me at the beginning also.
Okay.
And even at the exam also, it was somewhat challenging for me. And what I tried in the last 1 or 2 days before the exam, I just tried a different approach. And since I had some basic questions regarding the lengthy passages for legal aptitude questions and something like that for part A, I got some paragraphs. And rather than reading the whole passage and then going into the questions, what I tried was reading the first paragraph and then the last paragraph, since mostly the first paragraph would be like a introduction thing, and the last paragraph would be like a conclusion thing or giving a justification, something like that.
Okay.
So I read the first paragraph and I got the correct idea of what the passage is about, and the last paragraph, and then I used and I got a whole picture, relevant picture about what the passage tells around. So then I went into the questions. I read the questions, and after reading the questions, I got to know that oh, this is the thing. And then I specifically focused. If the thing is not in those two paragraphs, I went into the specific. It was easier to search with the keywords from the question. I searched the keywords, and then I went into the passage, and then specifically I read those things. It is a little bit tricky thing.
This is actually a nice trick, because even when we teach students about regarding few techniques, right? So this is one of the technique that's followed. Reading the first paragraph and reading the last paragraph, that gives the idea and the tone of the author, like what he wants to convey, what's his mindset regarding the issue. So that's
Yeah.
actually that's one of the nice ways to approach the
Yeah.
the
I
questions.
use those things. Even in the exam, I use this thing.
Okay, so it worked. It worked well during exams.
Work, but
Uh-huh.
I can't say in retrospectively whether if I read the full passage I would have scored more. I
Yeah.
can't say that.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, this I used in the last 2 to 3 days. I
Okay.
tried this. I thought this would help me saving in time. I don't know if I followed reading the whole passage and reading the questions, 8 or 9 questions in that, then I might have took more time this time and I would have not cleared also.
Okay.
So I tried this and I went on with this in the exam also.
Uh-huh.
But uh, following this, I would have made some 2 or 3 mistakes also. That is also
Okay, but
there.
certainly if a person's in a time crunch, then he can consider this technique as well
Yeah.
to approach the questions
Yeah.
because
It's not
NLSAT
it's
is
not a
online.
proof
Yeah.
technique like everybody should follow. I'm
Yeah.
just giving it for somebody. It might be useful. So these kind of things a little bit helped me out. But while we are going through the questions and then going to the passage, I used to read the whole passage in which the keyword occurred and the question relevant answer will be in that passage. I read the whole passage again, and then instead of reading the whole paragraph, I used to deep dive into that paragraph. I'm able to spend more time on that, so I was able to clear into the correct answer.
Great, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like skipping back to the NLU NAIT as well, you have cracked that as well. You've scored, you got All India rank 90. That's a difficult feat to achieve as well. So, how did you go about it? Because there are three sections in it: general English, general reasoning, and general knowledge. That's it. So, how did
Yeah.
you go about it? How did you approach this exam?
For general, for the current affairs thing in that also, I did the same thing for this because it came in the same around 10 or 20 days gap. And for the same CSAT thing, here also we have the mental general aptitude and general
Okay.
comprehension and the max thing and the aptitude thing. So I use those things. I use those CSAT questions also, and specifically some blood relations type, the directions thing, and the sequencing. These and all I use from the CSAT thing, and these are the things which help me in doing that.
Perfect.
But
So
I couldn't get into
the
it, but
base of your preparation was based on CSAT itself.
yeah,
Be it for
because I
NLSAT or
didn't
be it for
prepare for
NLSAT.
CSAT before, so I have to manage both before the exam.
Hmm.
That's
great. And did you practice any like questions for NIIT? Did you practice any mocks or something like that?
Yeah, the same the NLSAT self Telegram app, the Lawfren, they send
those mocks.
many.
Yeah, I remember. You
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 see
used
that
to
last
regularly
week
attend.
I regularly wrote those tests using the computer-based model test only. I gave 5 mocks for that also in the last week of the exam. The 3 mocks helped me to gain confidence, and I was able to know where I lacked in my preparation for that.
That's great. That's great, Roshan. Do you have any final words for people who are preparing for these two exams, in the future?
Yeah. Final words would be believe in yourself and do well, and don't need to take the pressure that you have to clear this by only sitting for a whole year. Since you can do it simultaneously with whatever job, whatever preparation of exams you take while you are studying this, it doesn't matter. Believe in yourself and practice, and also keep in touch with the current affairs, and this will help them clear easily.
That's great. That's great, Roshan. Then that's it for today, guys. We had Roshan today. We have hosted him, and we got the preparation techniques and the resources that he carved for NLSAT and NAIT. So that's it for today, guys. And we'll wish him luck for his law career. And also, Roshan, anything that you need, any help that you need in Bangalore when you're here, I'm here always. You can call me. I'm a local here. I'll just be 2 to 3 kilometers away from you, so you can always reach out to me. And anything, even in the legal matters, as said, you can just contact me. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your guidance and everything.
For the people who are watching it on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe for the channel, and also join our Telegram channel, NLSAT Self Prep, and also Lawfren. Yeah, see you. Peace out.
Are you preparing for 3-year LLB entrance exams, but feeling overwhelmed and unsure where to start? Do you struggle with finding the right resources, guidance, and clarity, all in one place? Tired of institutions selling just mock tests or rebranding old materials meant for other exams and charging a fortune for it? Introducing Lawfren, your one-stop solution for 3-year LLB entrance exams. Lawfren brings you cutting-edge tools to supercharge your preparation. With our exams portal, you can participate in live All India tests and instantly see your rank, giving you real-time insights into your performance. Practice questions on individual topics, sharpen your skills, and get exam ready with confidence. Lawfren, aim to be